Hello everyone, welcome to Rise of Patience. We are back with another standard 1 versus 1 replay. This is the game 2 of Dangerous Dave versus Halen. So let's begin. Both of these are top of the class standard players. There is no doubt that they're among the best. So this is going to be an interesting game. On one side, we got Spanish, Halen as Spanish, and Dave as Turks. This is a watering hole map. So that means you're going to be seeing a lot of water fights as well. And Spanish has a slight advantage in this game because of the water. The Spanish get free heavy ship every time they build a dockyard, and they also get 2 scouts, so that means they get a better start. Turks start to catch up late in the game, so a Turk player would have his best time, or the most advantageous time would be in late game around the gunpowder age. If this was a regular map, like a arena map, then the Turk might go for a fast rush, but especially this map size is small, which is bigger than arena, and then this is not the kind of map style that suits a fast rush. Even Sahara is the best for a fast rush, like with a militia rush. Even old world would work, but this is not the kind of map. So initially, Turks will have to resort to a little booming, at least until medieval age, before they attack. Let's look at the rears on both the sides. As of course, yes, Spanish start with the whole map being visible. Halen has got relics on this side. Peacocks. Well, Peacocks is a much better rare to have in Nomad. In Standard, it's nobody gets it for the population limit, because I've hardly seen anybody need the extra population limit in Standard, unless of course the game goes to Information Age, and yeah. Relics is of course the best rare among these two. Then he's also got silver on his border, and I have no doubt that this would be the better place to build a third city instead of this, because he's going to be capturing silver. But well, this place might not be bad because of the wood. Let's see, is he crunched on wood? Well, he's not. If he gets a city here, this wood will be within his reach. So that's not a bad idea. So yeah, Helen's got decent rares here, and that's a freebie that Halen gets with his docks, and he's getting another dock. He's going to get 2 of those, and Dave is ready to counter that with his own heavy ship. And Dave is ready to take this fight on the water. He delayed market so that he could get the fishing ships out and the water fight. Halen has got these 2 freebies right there. Now in the classical age, the water game gets a little more serious, because in the classical age, then you can build fire rafts, and fire rafts are really cheap, and they can blow up a heavy ship. Alright, so Halen it looks like Halen is actually behind, because he did not behind in the terms of library research, because he does not have military yet. So there we have, I guess both of these are just going to settle. Initially they're just going to settle on their fishes, 2 on each side. So Halen is going to take these 2. He's going to take these 2. But Dave does not want to settle on that. He wants to fight for it. Dave has got 100 eco. He's building a university, and same goes with Halen. He's getting a senate and university. Let's look at the ruin bonuses. So yeah, of course, Halen would get a higher ruin bonus because he's Spanish. But this is quite interesting, because even last game when he was not, when he was Bantu, he scouted with fewer He scouted fewer villagers and one less scout than the Iroquois player, and he still had a better ruin bonus. So Halen seems to be really good at his scouting game, and both of them are using citrus. Now citrus is going to become important in this game as well, but both of them are far away from it, so it's not going to be completely secured by anybody. It's going to be under constant fight. For noobs or players who are just high on marijuana, the citrus is provides healing benefits on ship, on water. So it's an awesome rare to have. So far looks like Halen is dominating on the sea. He's got 6 ships, 4 light, 2 heavy, and Dave seems to be struggling a little bit on water, but that's initially expected because Spanish are strong on water, no doubt about it. Let's compare their ecos. So Dave has got a 110, 130. His knowledge is 30, and here the knowledge is 60. And of course, the relics is helping a lot. And I just realized I never analyzed Dave's rare resources. So Dave's got spice here, and he does not know that there's an obsidian there. So right now he's only using spice, and well, comparing the rare resources, yeah, this game Halen has got the better rare resources compared to the last one where Dave had the better one. Dave had diamonds last game. Halen had, yeah, he had stupid rares last game. But this one seems to be slightly in Halen's favor. Halen has made a barracks to raid the citrus merchant. Meanwhile, Dave has got a military too, and he's going to start raiding. Military 2 is an excellent choice, but especially with Turks, because Turks get cheap military, so they're not losing a lot. But now Dave can start doing some serious raids. They both are busy on the naval battles. We've got 6 boats. 6 boats from Dave and 6 from Halen. They both are very evenly matched. Halen is using 3 fishing ships, while Dave is only using 1 fish so far. Dave has got a nice wood income, but the food seems to be suffering. And this raid on the land is going to make a lot of difference, because while his heavy infantry can fend off against heavy cavalry, they are still slow. So the cavalry can just outrun them, come back from a different direction. Well, he's still got light horses, so that's not bad. But Halen needs to start. He needs to be dependent more on the land than water, because it looks like this is going to be a war zone, and they both are going to be mostly fighting over it instead of getting any advantage. Halen has got a sub 100 food income, which is not good for him. Where Halen is leading is knowledge production. Look at that. That's 7 ships on one side, and that's 5 ships on the other side. But he has got the upgraded light ships. And Halen has got silver. He's protecting it right now, but let's see how long can he protect that, because he is not in a condition to age at this point. Dave has gone to medieval age. The battle seems to continue. Oh, and that fire raft is not going to make it. And yeah, so Dave lures his light ships using the fire raft. but he's going back. I wonder why he's going back. And meanwhile, Halen is raiding his spice. Well, that's the only rare resource he has. I still don't know what government Dave chose. So Dave has not chosen a government yet. He's just going Republican, and it's not going to make much of a difference because Dave was already had commerce and he was not using the commerce limit properly. So there was no reason for him to get the Senate upgrade. Of course, except for the bribing benefit and the defensive benefits. So Dave was taking a risk by not going for the government. He was losing on that healing benefits, but guess what? He didn't need that. Halen has got both senator and the 200 cap, but he's not using any of that. I mean, his eco is not using it. There comes the Carrack upgrade from Halen, and they've also got these 5 Carracks, and these are not the medieval age light boats, but they're still they're quite powerful. They're classical age boats. Dave is going to get this second city, a third city here. Looks like, oh, and that water force should tell Halen that Dave is either going to build here or there. But since Dave's military are here, it might be a good idea to check out that place. And I think Halen is suspecting the city to be placed in this side. And those royal scutaris can be dangerous. They are extremely effective against heavy cavalry. In fact, they're the strongest units against cavalry I have seen in this game. They slice through cavalry like a banana. I don't know. That was not a good analogy. Here, Halen is trying to get back the control of water. So this fight is going to continue, and that's what makes this map quite interesting and also stressful, because this map requires you to pay attention to both land and water. They should avoid any encounters with those heavy infantry. Yeah, he should only be countering those with archers. And there goes a caravan from Dave. And yeah, it looks like Halen has picked up. He is using he's using 4 fishing boats. He's also getting a siege factory. Meanwhile, he's raiding on land. I think he is not. His senator is back home, and he is forcing Dave to get the crossbowmen. So crossbowmen means wealth. So they're good units against heavy infantry, but it means that Dave has to spend wealth on units instead of getting scholars. Halen has also secured the citrus merchant here. He's got the second commerce, second civic, but all right. So there comes the city. There comes the third city. I think this place might not be suitable. I don't know why would you make that city here. Anyway, this citrus is going to be super important in this game since it's going to be super important in this game since that's the only water rare available. The other 2 water rares are copper and one other would be copper or cotton, because cotton provides you cheaper, faster production of boats. Another rare that it comes late in the game. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but there are other post gunpowder rares also for for beneficiary rares. And look at that. That's an awesome raid. Dave has been pulled back because of that raid from Halen, and that's why you should be raiding your opponent constantly and as much as possible. So Dave, Helen took that plunge. He sacrificed a little bit eco to get those Skutari upgrades, got those heavy infantry in Dave's territory, and then Dave had to shell out resources to save himself instead of booming, and that did pay up in the end. So yeah, it paid off, and Halen is booming really nicely. This game seems to be so far in Halen's favor. We see the bombard cannon upgrade coming from Halen. Dave is going to reach gunpowder very soon, but he is not using that commerce cap as much as. Well, actually, now as I see it, it does look like they have a very close commerce limit. Dave is also going on the offense. As I said, Turks are either if you have Turks, you either attack early, or if you're not desperate, you will rather attack after gunpowder age, where it becomes more feasible. And there is Dave sieging down the dock. So at this point, it does look like Dave wants to siege it. So it's just for the plunder. I don't see any particular reason why this dock is such an important thing. And if I was in his place, I might do the same thing. If I have to just upgrade my units, and meanwhile, instead of waiting, I would start sieging something. They both have got nice ego so far. They are not, at least Halen is not upgrading his ships, and Dave is not doing that either. Dave is getting the Monarch, and it doesn't look like Halen has the resources. It looks like he's saving the resources for Monarch. Now the interesting thing in this game is that none of these players have a castle, and of course between all these raids and water fight, it's difficult to get the resources, spare the resources for a castle. And yeah, so Halen gets the Monarch. So without the castle, none of them is getting the tactic upgrade. So if one of them can somehow get the castle, get the tactic upgrade, now that can overturn the game. So both of them have small armies, which is fine. But Dave's got mostly 3 archers, and archers are weak against everything except the heavy infantry. So that's it doesn't. This battle does not look good for Dave. And yeah, these bombard cannons also do damage against units. They have splash damage, so it makes a lot of difference. If you are fighting with your opponent with equal armies, you can have your cannons fight do splash damage right in the middle of the opponent army, and that actually works. So you can win that fight. Halen has not upgraded his heavy infantry, and those upgraded heavy infantry are really cool. They are ranged heavy infantry, one of the few we have in this game. I think the only other ranged heavy infantry is the Persian heavy infantry. And because they're not ranged, they have to go all the way to the knights, and because of that, now look at that. Because Halen's heavy infantry are being sliced down by those janissaries, he cannot counter the knights, and suddenly Dave looks like Dave has an advantage right here. And this is going to snowball into a defeat for Halen if Halen does not do something. Because all Turks need is that one little edge where they can. That small window of this small window is going to help the Turk player to get down his barracks, and Halen calls it GG. And that was very close right here when both the armies were fighting. That was a point where I would have said that Halen was winning, but because Halen's heavy infantry were not upgraded, they could not fire from range, and the Turk Janissary got them. I would say this was really well played by Halen all the game. He had the control over water. He also had control over land, and right here, instead of getting the cannon upgrade first, cannon upgrade first, if he had spent resources on upgrading his heavy infantry first, getting a enough army, and then maybe get the bomber upgrade, he might have been able to win this. And I'm not kidding. This whole fight changed the flow of the game. Halen had the control of the water. He had a much better economy than Dave. Look at that. Dave still doesn't have as good an economy as Halen. The food is much better with Halen right here. So it all came down to that small mistake, a heavy infantry. I won't say there was any other mistake from Halen all this game. He played it almost perfectly. Another thing he might have done was to take control of the silver. But well, if he lost silver, but on the other hand, he got citrus. And the reason that he lost this game is not because of silver. So that's not a critical point. It's a good thing he had citrus, so he could maintain control over water, which was really important. And yeah, it looks like that's it. This was the second game between Dave and Helen. And I'll be back soon with more such replays. And see you guys later. Bye bye.